Hey everybody, welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast. We got a great show, great spooky show today. Got a good show, good spooky show. Doing exactly what you said you would do if you opened it.
Hey, no, I was thinking more like screaming for 10 full seconds, just ah.
So
Just
I
like
don't
that.
like to I don't like to date these episodes, Chadley, but these are the spooky episodes, and you know what else it is? This is the Chadley birthday episode.
Oh yeah, true.
Chadley birthday episode. And I think you guys should all head over to Chadley the movie on Twitter, wish him a happy birthday, because he is closer to killing himself now than I've ever seen. So.
True. For my birthday, I got a lot of really great stuff. I got Star Wars Risk. I got a pair of jeans. I got Metal Gear Solid 5. I got Fired. I got a ton of stuff.
Yeah, wait, what was that last part?
What's that? No. So it's been an interesting
some jeans. What was that last part?
We got some jeans. I got fired from my job. I got some Risk. I've got a board game.
What was that last one?
Risk. Star Wars Risk.
No, a little before that.
Pair of jeans.
I feel like there was one more in there, but I can't quite recall.
Let me tell you something about Star Wars Risk, though. I was playing Star Wars Risk yesterday with my brother. It's not anything like Risk. Literally nothing like Risk.
It's kind of weird because most of those games, like, they just throw a new coat of paint on them, but this is new mechanics or what?
Yeah, no, it does. It's like there's 3 different battles going on at the same time, and there's 2 teams. One is the Sith, one is the Jedi. It's fucking wild. It's wild.
Because I have the Simpsons Monopoly, and guess what, Chadley?
Same fucking game.
Simpsons, yeah, it's just the Simpsons. I mean, it's just Monopoly.
See, we played Legend of Zelda Monopoly yesterday, and like we were looking at it, and it's like, they did a lot of repainting, but there's just some things they should change. Like the go to jail man with his like finger up, that's the same in everything.
Oh, that's the same?
Yeah, that guy, they don't change that guy's clothes. They wouldn't like paint him yellow for the Simpsons. They wouldn't throw
I feel like my color balance is off. Does my color balance look off?
No, you look like a beautiful infant. You look like a fresh baby boy.
Oh, God bless. You see my receding hairline?
Yeah, absolutely. You're definitely getting older, dude. You're almost a dad.
I'm basically a dad.
You might be a dad.
I'm getting somebody to shave my back this weekend. Shave my back. That's not just
something you just drop without like the rest of the tail. Who? Like you're paying a professional?
No, not a professional per se.
Just getting like a honey to do it, just like one of your honeys you got laying around.
Just like like when you put your side bitches in your phone, but like it's clearly not a real name, like like Bill Billington or some shit. It's like, hey, his name's probably not Bill Billington, and then somebody like keeps calling you, but you're like passed out, and it's like, hey, Bill Billington's calling you, and you're like, don't worry about Bill, he's fine.
Please don't answer it.
Please don't answer it.
And then she answers it, and the girl's like, she's like, how you know Buckland Duke? And she's like, I sucked his dick the night before last.
Then they talk on the phone for like an hour, and you're pretending to pass out, but you're listening to the whole thing, and like and they're like talking about like they realize at the same time that they're both the side bitch, like that feeling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they're both getting real just sad. They're getting sad, and then they get angry.
And now they're good friends. I don't know. Now they're good friends.
Now they're homies. So you brought them together. God bless you, sir. You've done a good deed.
Work out here.
You did a good deed for the people of the world. That's all I'm saying. So we got some movies today. This is Spooky-Tober. Some scary stuff going on. Buckley Duke's getting his back shaved. I got fired from my job. Tons of spoopy stuff going down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're gonna talk about some spoopy movies.
I'm pretty close to just becoming a janitor and falling off the face of the map, Chadley. That's how fucking pissed I am.
I'm just gonna sell stuff. I think I'm just gonna like sell a bunch of shit, like everything I own. I'm just gonna sell a bunch of shit. I don't even know why. I don't even know why.
Don't need the bed anymore. Hey, fuck the bed.
Fuck the bed. No, I've been setting up my surround system. I don't know why. I'm just gonna take it down tomorrow. Give it to the Kijiji buyer.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, but that's probably what I'll do. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just do that until I can file for bankruptcy, and then that'll be fun.
I'd like to hear the story of how you got fired after the show.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. There's not really a story, but We're going to talk about some spooky movies. Tremors 5 Bloodlines is going to be one of them. There's Jamie Kennedy and
I knew this was going to be bad, but boy, did it exceed expectations.
Then we're going to watch, we're going to talk about The Visit, the latest upbringing from M. Night Shyamalan. Some people have said this is his best movie in years. I've seen people say Shyamalan is back. Well,
Shyamalan is back, baby. Well, guess what? We're talking about his trash baby tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, continuing on our Friday the 13th franchise, we're going to watch Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Not accurate. And then for all of our listeners who got little babies at home, but you want to watch yourself a little spoopy movie that a baby can watch, we're going to do a top five Halloween movies for kids that are appropriate.
I googled family horror movies to build this list, and you know what pops up? Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. Probably wouldn't. I get why it's there, because it's a family. Technically, it's a family.
Yeah, throw it on your list then. Throw it on your list. Technicalities. Who gives a shit? If there's a family in it, I don't care. Fuck, for all we know, the latest Friday the 13th has Corey Feldman at the age of like 1. So,
he's young.
Oh, he's definitely young. He's young. He's young enough that a Catholic priest might be interested. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know who was interested? Michael Jackson.
Michael J. Big fan of that Michael Jackson. That Moonwalker movie he did was unreal. If you haven't seen that, check that out.
What are we talking about first here, Chadley?
Let's talk about, you know what? I just watched it, but like it feels like it was like 3 weeks ago because it was so forgettable. I just watched it just now, and I don't remember anything about it. Tremor 5 Bloodlines.
I do not remember anything about it. It's the great Burt Gummer. Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy. Now, here's the first problem with the movie is it's Jamie Kennedy is doing like a Pauly Shore bit the whole movie. Like he's doing like Pauly Shore, but not like modern Pauly Shore. He's doing like 90s Pauly Shore the entire movie. And
before Pauly Shore died and then came back or whatever.
Yeah, I kind of want to call Jamie Kennedy and be like, take a gander at Pauly Shore's career, and you know what? Like that's where you're headed. Like that's where you're going, friend. So Jamie Kennedy is fucking terrible. He just like all it is like, yo, there's just a bunch of gnarly stuff in there.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my problem with this is Jamie Kennedy's character. He's like supposed to be like a extreme athlete. Hey, bro, in what universe is fat fuck Jamie Kennedy like even a possibility that he could be an extreme athlete?
I imagine that he, like, of all the people that auditioned for the role, he was probably the most fit. That's all I can imagine.
Also, probably the most famous that would actually do this movie.
Absolutely.
That's my guess.
They were like, "Do we want to rewrite it since Jamie Kennedy is, like fat as heck?" Nah.
Leave it.
Leave it. Yeah. So he's fucking dirt biking around, and he comes across. Now here's where the movie gets really fucking dumb. Okay, it's right at the very beginning. He comes up to Burt Gunner and he's like, "Hey, buddy, I'm your new cameraman." Doing his little Pauly Shore thing. So he's the new cameraman for Burt Gunner. And then he's like, "You need to find a way to, get yourself out there, buddy." And then literally 5 seconds.
The social media, bruh.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll get you on Twitter. The tweets," just like doing Pauly Shore bits. The whole movie's just Pauly Shore bits. But then literally 5 seconds after he shows up, someone comes along. Somebody just happens to show up and be like, "Oh boy, do I have an opportunity for you." How the fuck that's the biggest coincidence in human history that guy just happened. Yeah, he just happened to show up. And not only that, but like it seemed like their office was just the desert, just the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Where he was, although the thing where he created his own oven, I kind of like that part where he made his own oven out of clay or whatever. And then he cooked rattlesnake. That part I kind of fucked with. That was like,
oh yeah, see, I barely even remember that. That's
it was the best part of the movie.
True. I do. I mean, okay. So basically, let me tell you a little bit about the history of the Tremors films. How about that?
Okay, that's good because I've actually I've never seen a Tremors movie before. I
The
downloaded the first.
The first one's a pretty fun, like, comedy horror with Kevin Bacon. Burt Gummer is there, but he's not the main character. Not until the second and third, where Burt Gummer becomes the main character. And these all take place in Nevada, in the desert.
Is it the same actor playing Burt Gummer?
Yeah, he's been playing them in all. He's played the same character in all of them, except for the fourth one. Except for the fourth one, where they do a Back to the Future 3, and they go back in time, right, to where it was like the town, but like 100 years ago. But Burt Gummer plays his grandfather.
Okay, all right, I can fuck with that.
And then so those were all in the 90s, and I believe at the beginning of the early 2000s. And the guys that made the first four were petitioning to make a fifth one for like five years or so after the fourth one, and they never got it. Now somehow 11 years after the last one, some shitty company bought up the rights to it and just made another one without the consent of the two guys that made the original quadrilogy.
So that's what we have here then. What we have here is less of a sequel and more of like a knockoff with the same actor.
Because they go to Africa in this one, which didn't happen.
Yeah, it's about as canon as Never Say Never Again. Sure, you got Sean Connery playing Bond, but it's not real.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of what this is then. Could those two guys still come out with a movie called Tremors 5?
I don't know. I'm not sure if what happened there. What I think is likely happened is the studio lost the rights to it, and then another studio picked them up. So even if those guys were under contract with the studio, fuck them. It's probably not even. They probably can't. I imagine they can't.
So in this movie, you got Burt Gummer, Gummer, and Jamie Kennedy.
That's a weird choice, hey?
Jamie Kennedy.
You could have had anybody for that role. Like it's a non-role. So
I feel like there's enough people, like even if it's not a lot of money, there's enough people in Hollywood who are like, oh, I love the Tremors franchise. I'd be in that. I'd love to be a part of the Tremors franchise, even if it's shitty, even if the money's bad. There's enough people that you could get. Jamie Kennedy is like, I feel like they had a wheel.
How about Pauly Shore? What's Pauly Shore doing?
I'm pretty sure he's dead. Pauly Shore died, dude.
No, but then he was resurrected, like Jesus Christ.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, he is kind of like Jesus Christ.
That's what that whole movie. Pauly Shore's Dead is about. It's about him dying and then coming back as a new human.
That's a pretty terrible movie, but like the idea is pretty interesting. I like the concept of like Pauly Shore faking his own death. That's classic.
Absolutely.
But Tremors 5. Okay, so Jamie Kennedy and Burt Gummer, they get on a plane to Africa, which it's so weird because in the beginning of this movie, they're like, these are native to North America, never before seen anywhere else in the world. And then over here, they get over to the African place, and they're like, oh yeah, we got different names for all this stuff. They've been here for years, and it's like
they've been here for centuries. It's like,
yeah, really? What the? Nobody seemed to wanted to mention it till now. Till now, it wasn't a problem to have these giant man-eating graboids just killing people. Now it's a problem.
Yeah, and I like when he's like trying to characterize them as like a new creature. He's like, they're leaner here, they're faster, they got more of the fast twitch muscle. You're like, yeah, this might be leaning into racism right here.
Yeah, he's like, they have the tentacles that come off. Like they're a little bit different than the ones from the first four, I imagine. Also, this is 2015, and CG shouldn't look like that.
Yeah, no, like I figured it was gonna be. Well, in the first four, I think most of them they did practical effects. At least the first couple.
which if especially for a movie like this, if you have a low budget, maybe just do that again.
Yeah, I like how much. I've always wondered that, like, because all the shitty like sci-fi movies, this is like, it looks like a made-for-TV movie, but it didn't even get that. But
yeah, it's like DVD. I actually saw this in a movie store. I saw this and I was like, ooh, I would
But
buy that.
I always wonder like how much cheaper is it to do the shitty CGI instead of just doing practical? It must be cheaper, right? If they're doing it.
Yeah, it must be cheaper
Because
just to get like the
you gotta
shiny,
hire you gotta hire a lot of guys to do the practical
like a
stuff.
puppeteer and shit like that. Yeah, especially for a movie of this big of a scale with these monsters and shit. But the CG looks so fucking garbage, dude.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's so like like it's one of those things where you can just tell they're running on a green screen like the whole time, and it's like it's really distracting.
Yeah.
Then later on in the movie, and this is why the movie is called Bloodlines, they just randomly drop Jamie Kennedy's like, "Oh yeah, this is my mom's name," and then Bert's like, "I fucked that bitch," and you find out.
What's like the most. This movie's so poorly structured, but like they had like that whole love interest, right? And then
Yeah,
they drop it to do the father son thing.
yeah, I
like,
totally agree.
Yeah, maybe pick one. Maybe pick one.
And there's just so many scenes where it's like, what? Like I would just look up at the screen, because I'll be honest, I wasn't paying full attention. I was pretty well tapped out of this movie. I'd look up at the screen and be like, what the fuck is actually going on right now? Like the scene where he's dragging him in a cage. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right
Well,
now?
I mean, you just weren't paying attention, but I mean,
No,
most of
not really.
that's.
I mean, like he was put there by the Van Dyke fella who ended up getting eaten or whatever, and then he came to save him. But like here's the big thing is that he drags him in the cage for a little while, and then the cage flips, so he stops, right? And he's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And then he breaks open the cage with a crowbar, and it's like, maybe just start with the crowbar.
Hey,
you
yeah,
know?
you had the crowbar, hey? Yeah, you had a crowbar. Yeah, probably use that.
Yeah,
Probably use that.
maybe don't drag the cage like a half a kilometer before opening up the cage. Seems like a weird choice. There was just a ton of just little shit like that sort of just ruined this movie. It's unfortunate, it really is, because I feel like this is a well-respected series. It does pretty well.
Well, the first one is. I don't think the sequels are very well received.
But yeah, no, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying, like he saw Tremors in theaters, and he wasn't expecting much. He absolutely loved it. I still need to see it. I've got it, so
like Tremors, that's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I feel like I would love to watch it, and I probably will pretty soon. But this, like, I haven't even seen the other movies, and I know how much of a disservice this movie is to the franchise.
Yeah,
like it's an abomination. Like it really is. It's bad on every single level. The script structure is wonky as hell. The CG is unwatchably terrible. The characters are the worst. They're like not even Burt Gunner. Not even Burt Gunner. I like none of them.
He's a fucking menace to society. You know that part when he's fighting Ass Blaster, by the way.
Yeah, Ass Blaster.
Maybe say that less than 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, Ass Blaster was something that was in the other ones, but I feel like
Graboid. Say it 500 times.
I feel like Graboid was like more of the main villain in the other ones, but this one it's just all about the Ass Blasters.
Well, because I was trying to go for like that comedy, but there's no jokes.
There was also a part that now this was meant to be a joke, and I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's just not funny. That's the big problem. Where he gets out of the truck and he goes, "Did you fart?" He's like, "No," and he's like, "You smell gassy," and he goes, "Affirmative." And it's like, what is that a bit? Like, is that supposed to be a joke? Is that a fart
it's
joke?
It's funnier you explaining it, because like if it executed well, that actually is a joke, but because it was just delivered so fucking poorly.
I feel like what happened here is that they're like, "Hey, you know that show Family Guy?" They're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "We want all of the people who auditioned to be writers for that but didn't get it. That's who we want." Just those
could
people.
be.
So yeah, I say 100%.
Another thing I noticed about all of these like made for sci-fi types is a helicopter in it, and they never fly it.
Yeah, no, it was just sitting there all the time. And then they would talk about like, oh, I just flew on down over here. It's like, no, you didn't.
Sure didn't.
No, you didn't. They moved the helicopter and you got driven in a fucking van. That's what happened. Yeah. So that is strange. I do agree. They blew up the helicopter. Some of the explosion work was not bad. One thing I did notice about this movie that you don't see a lot in these sci-fi, straight to sci-fi movies, the fire looked pretty good, which is rare.
It wasn't bad. Looked like fire.
Yeah, it looked like fire. Usually it doesn't. I'll tote to Jingle All the Way too with the fakest ass fire I've ever seen in my entire life. But
I don't remember anything about that movie.
Do you remember the part where Larry the Cable Guy threatened to take a diarrhea shit on Santa?
Yes.
That's the memory you have. So yeah, Tremors 5, Bloodlines. Fire's all right. But other than that, it just sort of feels like a blank movie. You know? Like it feels like a blank slate, like an empty document with nothing written on it.
Oh, it's a nothing movie, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not about anything. There's no good characters. There's nothing to take away from this movie. And that's unfortunate because, you know, this could have been good. I think this could have been good, but it wasn't.
There's definitely something to it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I feel like this one is going to be one of those straight to sci-fi movies that's going to do well based simply on the fact that it's got the Tremors name attached to it. Similar to like Leprechaun Origins and stuff like that. It's got the name attached, so people are going to want to see what's up.
That Leprechaun movie, by the way, in case we didn't get that in.
Yeah, that was our last Halloween. Leprechaun Origins.
Spooky-Tober.
Yeah, we only did one spooky episode. We're doing a full month of spooky movies. We got even more spooky movies coming up next week, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. I say fuck no to this. Fuck no.
Yeah, don't watch this.
It was
even if you're a fan of Tremors, don't watch this.
The biggest problem is that it was just boring. I didn't think I would get boring from an action movie like that, but I was so bored. It's unbelievable.
But I was saying something and you cut me off. But Burt Gummer is a complete terror menace. When he was fighting the ass blaster and he killed it over top of that guy, he knew it would kill that man. And his bloodlust, Chedley, his bloodlust killed men. Has killed a man.
Absolutely. Now, this movie is obviously an R-rated film. So, you know, if you got children, don't watch this movie with them in the room. But
is it actually?
Oh, dude, they say fuck in this movie, don't they?
I don't know.
They make jokes about fucking like 20-year-olds.
That's right.
This has got to be R-rated. It's pretty violent too. A lot of blood. This has got to be R-rated, right?
PG-13 probably.
Tremors 5, yeah, maybe PG-13. Yeah, no, you're right. It's PG-13. I still wouldn't watch this with the children in the room, but there are 5 movies that I have sitting in front of me that I would watch with the children in the room. It's the top 5 spooky movies that are appropriate for kids. Why don't you start us off? What's your number 5?
My number 5, a little movie from the legend of spooky movies. You know him, Tim Burton. Oh. It's one of the few I like. I'm gonna go with Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. That's actually, you know what? Beetlejuice is a fantastic movie. It's some of his early work, which I think I've said before. I'm a big fan of Tim Burton's early work. His later work, not so much. Not very good. But Beetlejuice is an absolute gem. Winona Ryder, Keaton just wrecking it.
Keaton's back, baby.
Yeah, Keaton is back. Although ever since we said Keaton's back, he hasn't appeared in a single movie. So I don't know. Is Keaton actually back? Let's take a look. Keaton may not be back. Keaton may not be back. I don't think Keaton's back. That's the problem.
What if he was, though?
Oh, you know what? He was in Minions, so Keaton might be back.
Keaton's back, baby.
Keaton's back. He was also in a movie called Spotlight with Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams.
I heard a little rumor that Rick Moranis is back, baby.
Rick Moranis is back?
I heard a little rumor that Rick Moranis is back, baby.
Okay, well, I'm looking into that immediately. Oh, no, he's not back. Last thing he did was in 2006.
No, he did an interview where he said that he turned down a cameo in Ghostbusters, but he wants to get back into acting, just not Ghostbusters.
Why not Ghostbusters? I wonder, like, He probably looks totally different now. Hold on, let's see.
He's fatter. He's fatter.
Hold on, Rick
He looks like a
Moranis.
dad. He just looks like a dad that left Hollywood. He looks like a left Hollywood dad.
I'm googling Rick Moranis 2015. Holy shit! Holy shit! Is that even the same man?
Doesn't even look like the same guy, you know?
He looks like Wallace Shawn now. Like he looks a
king.
lot like Wallace Shawn. That's just George Lucas. That's not even Rick Moranis. But if Rick Moranis is back, I'm game.
Rick Moranis is back, baby.
Absolutely. I'm game if Rick Moranis is back.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 is a movie. It's a series that I actually really love. Some people think it's bad. There are certainly some bad movies in this franchise. My number 5 is Ernest Scared Stupid. Really fun Halloween movie. Jim Varney, may he rest in peace. Playing Ernest. Shit, what was Ernest's last name? I used to know all this by heart. Ernest.
Fuckhead.
Ernest Fuckboy. Yeah, that would be the one. That's it. But Ernest, it's such a Ernest Scared Stupid is so much fun. You really can't go wrong. You might not like it. Here's the thing, is that the thing about Ernest Scared Stupid is that the best part is the intro music. The intro music is like this bumping horror style hip hop beat.
Oh, and it's sick! Did you made a rap over that, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I watched that and I said, okay, well, there's no way I'm not, right? There's no way I'm not going to do that.
Head on over to fuckchadley.com to check that out.
That's actually exactly where you'd find it. Oh, his last name is Worrell. Ernest Worrell. That's what it is. Ernest Worrell. You know what? Just watch Scared Stupid and watch all of them because they're so much fun. Ernest is a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. So my number 4 is a little stop animated movie called Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Oh man, that's a good one. I didn't get this one, but that is a really good one. That is a really fun movie. Big fan of Wallace and Gromit. Ray Fiennes is in that movie.
I really like that movie. That's a really fun animated movie.
Ray Fiennes is in it. The girl's famous too. I think it's like Emma Watson or Emily Watson. One of the Emilys. One of the British Emily girls. I can't remember what it's called. What her name is. But that's a great movie. My number 4, also a stop animation movie. This is a little movie that just talking about it gets me real riled up because it makes me real mad. This is a Henry Selick movie. It's called Nightmare Before Christmas. And here's why talking about it gets me real riled up, is that 100% of people think that was directed by Tim Burton, but it wasn't. He produced the movie, and then he liked it so much that he slapped his name all over it and basically just buried Henry Selick. And Henry Selick hates him for it because he's such a jizzy shitbag.
Does he hate him?
Yeah, just slapped his name all over. That's actually true. You can look it up. Henry Selick refuses to ever work with Tim Burton ever again.
I refuse to work with Tim Burton ever again.
Because the movie Nightmare Before Christmas took 2 years. This is actually a fact. 2 years working every day to get it filmed on set. Tim Burton was there for less than 9 days on set. 9 days.
9 days, baby.
So he did no work and then slapped his name all over it and buried Henry Selick. Fuck Tim Burton. That's probably the biggest fuck Tim Burton story I have. It's why I hate him so much. One of the many reasons. Fuck
that and bad movies.
Yeah, that and bad movies. Somebody the other day I was talking to about how shitty Tim Burton is, and they're like, "No, dude, Charlie and Chocolate Factory is good." And I was like, "You don't know a thing."
Hey, maybe don't bring that as your example.
Yeah, you don't know anything. Bring Edward Scissorhands. I don't give a shit. Just don't bring.
There's a couple acceptable examples you can bring to the table of Tim Burton being good at making films, and even those I'm a bit skeptical about.
Oh, really? I love Edward Scissorhands. I think Edward Scissorhands is amazing.
I've never seen all of it.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's a fun little Christmas movie.
I just hate that shit. I just hate
it. Yeah, you hate the gothic shit in like a 50s neighborhood.
I liked Sleepy Hollow just because I think that style works for that story.
Yeah.
But like Stop imposing your fucking goth shit on everything. Like, why does Planet of the Apes need to look like a goth city? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Fuck
Why did you take Alice in Wonderland, and how did you manage to make that more fucked up? What are you doing over there, Burton?
I think Burton did actual opium to get that looking realistic.
Holy shit. Do you think that, like, for the next Alice in Wonderland movie, they're just gonna give you opium on the way in, and they're like, "I'm not gonna take drugs."
Yeah, it's like a 3D
movie's
movie.
gonna be shit.
It's like a 3D movie where they have a hookah with opium in the middle, and you're all taking hoots off of it.
You're like, I don't want to do drugs, and they're like, trust me, you're not gonna like this if you don't.
You're not gonna get through it. Likely, you're likely not gonna get through it.
You might off yourself. It's,
My number 3.
Bad.
It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh, that's a good one too. You got some real good ones. We have completely different lists, which I usually like. But that's a great movie. I'm a big Peanuts fan. Really looking forward to the new movie coming out in November. But
I'm less so.
Here's the rub about that though. Comes out the same week as Spectre. Can only see one movie that weekend. Sorry, Peanuts, but you're
well. At least they got both. At least they got both the bases covered. The kids movie and the other
film lovers movie. People who like movies.
I mean, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown comes in at about 25 minutes, but I still think it's one of the greatest pieces of children's Halloween content ever produced. So
it's a solid 25 minutes, that's for sure. My number 3. Now, we were just talking about the man. This is a little joint from my boy, Rick Moranis. My number 3 is Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, Little Shop of Horrors. God bless.
Definitely get the original version because the director's cut is not for children and it's really fucked up and horrifying. But the normal version that was like the theatrical version, kids will love it. Has a fun little ending that they just tie it up with a little bow. The director's cut. Yeah, the director's cut ends with the apocalypse, so a little bit different endings.
Oh, God bless. I just watched the original last night, actually.
Oh, were they? Did you the one where they go to like the original, like from the 50s with Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, Roger Corman one.
That one's actually terrifying. Like it's so scary.
It's pretty good. It's surprisingly funny and like pretty good for a Roger Corman movie made in 2 days.
Yeah. Whoa, really? Holy shit. Yeah. They bumped that one out pretty quickly. I think that movie is actually terrifying. Little Shop of Horrors from my number 3. What's your number 2?
My number 2. Don't feed them after midnight. This is Gremlins.
Oh, yeah. We have completely different lists. I think we might have 100% different lists. Gremlins that's a great one. The sequel, not so much, but
I've never seen the sequel. Some people like it a lot though.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Why do people like it so much then, Chadley? Is this you being off base or is it actually bad?
Might be me being off base.
I know, like I've seen a lot of people praise the new batch more so than the original.
Really? Gremlins 2?
Yes.
It's not as good. I mean, it's fine. If we're talking about sequels, it's fine. I don't personally like it, but it's fine. It's not Gremlins.
Okay. Hey man, I'm just trying to see if you're off base or not. I'm not accusing you of anything, Chadley. I'm not accusing you. I'm just trying to see if you're off base or not, all right?
Never off base. I know everything. God damn it. My number 2. Now, I just spoke earlier about how Henry Selick was like, fuck Tim Burton, and then walked away from Tim Burton forever. And then he decided to make a very good kids movie without Tim Burton. Although most people will still mistake this as a Tim Burton movie while it's not. My number 2 is Coraline.
Yes.
Coraline's real fucked up, man. Want to watch something real fucked up? Coraline's where to go.
No, thanks.
My niece is a big fan of Coraline.
I just don't like any of this stuff, this type of stuff. Corpse Bride, anything like that.
Corpse Bride is trash. Corpse Bride, I can barely sit.
I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas or whatever the fuck that movie is. I don't like that movie.
Oh, I think that movie's pretty tight. I really like Henry Selick. I think he gets the shit end of the stick because of how much of a piece of garbage that Burton fellow is. So big fan of Coraline. He also did James and the Giant Peach, which is a great movie.
I actually like that one.
Yeah, that one's good. And then he also did Monkey Bone, which is not so great.
Never seen that. Never will.
I wouldn't. That's for sure. That's not a very good movie. Now we've come down to the rub of it. Your number one. What's your number one, my friend?
It's gotta be Ghostbusters.
Gotta be Ghostbusters. You know what? It's 100% different because you know what my number one is? It's Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
I like the first one a lot, but I think I like the second one a little bit more.
Well, you'd be wrong, but I mean, I guess you can think that.
Fair enough. You know, different opinions here. I think
we had this conversation last Halloween too, I believe. So I should have seen it coming.
I think the argument that I brought to the table last Halloween was that Ghostbusters 2 has more Rick Moranis, which I adore.
I think that is exactly what you said.
More Rick Moranis, the better. And he was kind of rapey in the first movie, and like nobody addressed it. He was really rapey, and nobody said anything about it.
Streams, man, come on, get the fuck out of here.
No, they're both great movies.
I love them both. I think they're both fantastic movies. I don't think the new Paul Feig one will even hold a candle to these ones. But
I doubt it. That new Paul Feig one, that's gonna be. Like, that's either going to be like, oh, yeah, that was all right, or it's going to be like a traumatic mess, which I imagine it'll be the latter.
Not looking good so far.
But they got Bill Murray to be in it, so.
Hey, man. I'll take it. I'm not saying I won't take a peep. I'm not saying I won't take a peep of it, you know?
But what I am saying is I won't see it in theaters because that was the vow I made when they announced it. I said, if Melissa McCarthy is cast in this film, I will not see it in theaters, and then she got cast. Well,
you gotta be true to your word, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I can't fuck with Melissa McCarthy.
That's more. The top 5.
Did you hear about Paula Blart?
Paula Blart?
Yeah, announced sequel for Paul Blart, but this isn't even a joke. It sounds like we're doing a bit. Like this actually sounds like a bit, but it's not a joke. This is actually a real thing. They announced a sequel to Paul Blart called Paula Blart. And it stars Melissa McCarthy as Paul Blart's brother. It's not even a joke. Like that sounds like a bit, hey?
I mean, doesn't seem real, but I've seen it. I've seen the pre-production notes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and Chadley were down at fucking Paramount, or who the fuck makes those movies?
Fox. I don't know.
We were there and we saw like the billboards for it and the pre-production notes. Me and Charlie are working on a secret production, so
McCarthy was there, and then she asked us if she could be in our secret production. We said 100% fuck no.
Fuck no. We were there trying to get The Rock.
Yeah, absolutely, and we got him.
And we got him. So up next, we're going to talk about the next movie in the Friday the 13th franchise. Now, this is called Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Not accurate, but hey, there's 12 more after this. So
I remember this one being kind of shitty, but you know what?
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I thought this one was pretty good. It wasn't as good as number 3. I still think number 3 reigns supreme. But
I'd say they're about even.
But you know what I'm a big fan of? I'm a big fan of Lawrence Monason calling Crispin Glover nothing but dead fuck. Like, I'm a big fan of that.
Hey, wow, we get to see Crispin Glover and what's that fucking little Corey Feldman in the same movie. 2 people devoid of personality. Goddamn, I'd love to have dinner with both of them. Ooh, that'd be a thrilling conversation.
You don't like Crispin Glover?
No, fuck Crispin Glover.
Dude, I love that. That was like one of the things I loved about this movie. I love Crispin Glover. I think he's hilarious. Like he's just doing a bit, right? Like that's all you gotta understand is he's just doing a bit.
Yeah, but I hate it. I hate the neurotic. Like, have you ever seen him in an interview doing the fucking neurotic dude bit? Hate it.
Does he do it? Maybe that's just what he is. Maybe he's just always doing neurotic dude.
I hate it, dude. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate Crispin Glover.
I can't believe that. I think Crispin Glover is fantastic.
I like him in this.
Corey Feldman.
If this was 100% Crispin Glover dancing, this would be a fantastic film.
Crispin Glover trying to ask girls to dance. Also, I'm really glad that Crispin Glover fucked because that was all I was waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
All I wanted was
you know what I liked about this one? A lot of nudity.
tits. Every girl showed her tits like at least 5 times.
Yeah, hot and nudity.
It was pretty excessive, but I loved it because I'm an animal. This one's pretty good though. One thing I will say about it though is that they have like an A plot line and a B plot line, and they're trying to go back and forth between the A and B.
I read that in your review for it, but I don't feel like that's really an issue because I don't understand the issue there really.
Well, I just feel like they kept like they introduced the A plot line, which is like Corey Feldman and his sister, and then they forget about it for like 45 minutes, and then like they're like, oh yeah, just a reminder, this other plot line's going on over here. Just so you remember, there's still stuff going on over here. They're freaking out as well, but we've just shown you 50 minutes of teenagers who can't stop fucking each other.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. The fucking getting slayed, getting slayed, Chadley.
Yeah, absolutely. The last 30 minutes where it's just Corey Feldman, just going fucking insane. That's some good shit.
Corey Feldman, he used to be able to act when he was a kid.
Yeah, when he comes down and
he got fucked by Michael Jackson, and
when he comes down, when he comes down the stairs and like he shaved his head, but like still got patches over. That's the most terrifying part of the movie.
That's scary, dude.
That's the scariest part. Now,
you know what I liked? You know what I liked about this was the badass dog Gordon.
Oh, Gordon, yeah, fucking A, Gordon.
He was saving everybody, dude.
Absolutely.
He jumped out of a 2-story window to warn his masters, Shelly. That's the real connection between man and beast right there.
One of the bigger problems I had with this movie is that it's come to a point now where we've seen 3 of these movies where we kind of understand the concept of, you know, Jason going out and just killing people, and they're not really expanding on it yet. It's
lucky
just
you, Chadley. These next 2 star Corey Feldman trying to kill Jason. Didn't realize that, did you?
No. See, I've seen these. I just don't remember them. But like that was forever ago. But no, and now that I know that, it's really sad. It's really upsetting. Like, why would you bring this to light? Okay, so they're gonna change up the formula, but here's the thing: is they're gonna do it bad. So looking forward to that, Matt.
You're gonna love the next one.
Am I? I don't remember it being good at all. But the next one is called Friday the 13th: The New Beginnings. So we're gonna be talking about that next week. I mean, I guess if you give it the title, The Final Chapter, and then the name, then you make another one. You're like, oh shit, we gotta somehow make the title Take It Back. Take it back. Take back it was the final chapter. Just call it The New Beginnings. Who gives a shit?
New beginning. New beginning.
Not a big fan of that Corey Feldman. That's for sure.
Corey Feldman, he's coming back.
No, he's not, dude. Corey Feldman's fucking like 60 now. He's not coming back.
He's back in the next one.
No, but he's not coming back. Like, he won't be back, baby.
Oh, no. He just has sex parties at his house that you have to pay for.
Absolutely. Like, people come over and he's like, hey, you remember Stand By Me? Want to suck my dick?
Have you heard about those, though? The sex parties where chicks can get in for $3, but if you're a dude, you have to pay $500?
No, Corey Feldman's a piece of shit. What?
And then like you go around and it's all like just old strippers that like hang out with Feldman. They're called Corey's Angels.
That is such a really depressing fact. Like, this was a child star. This was a man who had the world on his shoulders.
You know, like Vice, like Vice magazine, and they do all those videos and stuff.
Yeah.
They had a reporter sneak into one of the Corey Feldman parties, and they reported on it. And now Corey Feldman refuses to have any more parties.
That's amazing. Somebody was like, "Hey, Corey, I saw an article about your parties in a magazine," and that was it. That was it. Called quits right there, right then and there.
Fucking Vice is so good when they infiltrate shit. It's just the best.
Whose sex parties will they infiltrate next? Edward Norton? Edward Norton?
One I really liked is they they got this guy to go online and see how easy it was to buy guns. So he was just like setting up gun appointments off Kijiji all over the place. Oh, it's great.
That's amazing, actually. I'm a big fan of that. So this movie's a lot of fun. There's some really good deaths in it. That's probably what sets this one aside.
There's some strong deaths in this one.
There's some really good ones.
Strong.
One of my personal favorites is when he punched open the shower and like there was glass everywhere, and then he just grabbed the guy by the head and shoved him into the glass.
Yeah, that's classic. That's great stuff.
That's a real good death. Crispin Glover looking for the corpse.
He shoots a guy in a dick, I think. He shoots a lot of dudes in the dick.
Does he?
It's like a harpoon gun.
Oh, yeah, he does do that. You're right. He shoots the guy in the dick. No, but he stabs the guy in the dick, and then he shoots it while the harpoon is attached to the guy. That's what it was. That's that was a really good scene. I also really like the scene where the girl was laying in the boat. I mean, I could kind of tell what was going to happen from there. So here's my question. Is Jason Voorhees, does he have fins? Because he seems to be
a good swimmer. He's a good swimmer. He died there, and he's grown up in the lake, you know?
Oh, true. He must be able to breathe underwater, so maybe he doesn't breathe at all.
I don't even think he's a person, right? He's like a monster, right?
What was weird about this one is that it started in like a hotel, and there was like these two nurses fucking, and like
that was the hotel. That was the hospital.
Hospital, yeah, that's what I meant. The hospital. There was the two nurses fucking in the hospital, and they're like watching the news, and they're like, Jason Voorhees is now in the county morgue, and they're like, that's you right there, buddy. Like that was a really strange scene. I kind of like that though.
But like all good Friday the 13th movie, they start off with 5 minutes from the last one. So. But actually, no, they did all three in this one. They did scenes from all three in this one.
Yeah, just in case. I just feel like if I was watching a movie called Friday the 13th,
just in case you're coming in fresh to the final chapter, just coming in fresh.
Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't be a mistake that I made.
The thing is, though, you could come in fresh to any of these movies, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But this one, it did do like the Halloween 2, where it starts off exactly where the last one left off. So I did like that.
Yeah, it's not bad. That's not bad at all. But this one's a lot of fun. Real good deaths. They're getting better. You know, like
because this one they actually like even though it was like the two plot lines, they actually established who is like an important character this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like. Crispin Glover character, obviously they established Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman's sister and the homeless man.
Yeah, the homeless man. That was an interesting bit.
That was weird. Hey,
yeah,
pretty weird.
And then she was like, she wanted to bang the homeless man, so she was like,
"They just needed another. They needed another strong dude, right?"
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're like, "How do we incorporate another strong dude? Let's get a homeless guy in there.
Throw in a homeless guy. We like strong dudes. Make him attractive for some reason, even though he hasn't showered in a month. Make him an attractive man.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some stuff done right here, some stuff done wrong, but I think there's more done right than there is done wrong. I'd say this is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, this was surprisingly good because I don't remember even watching this one. If I'm being completely honest, I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but I don't remember anything about it. So,
hey Colby, can I tell you something?
What's that?
There's been rumors going around that I'd like to debunk.
Okay.
Prior to popular belief, currently, Shyamalan's not back. Shyamalan's not back. It's not back, baby.
Shyamalan back, baby.
He's not back. He made a movie called The Visit. I've seen people on the internet saying, "Oh my God, this is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. This is Shyamalan back in his element. Shyamalan's back, baby."
Hey, maybe I don't get horror movies anymore, but none of these ones that have claimed to be very scary, like to be the scariest movies of the year, have been even slightly scary.
This one wasn't even about anything. Like that's my big problem is it's an hour and a half, and the first hour is not about anything. And that's the big problem. You find out the girl's a filmmaker, and then she just proceeds to just film herself doing shit for an hour.
That's how a lot of found footage stuff goes, though.
But it's just like, it's not even interesting stuff. It's just her doing stuff. The only good part in that first hour is when the grandpa gets really mad and beats the shit out of the guy on the street.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I used to not. I used to like be adamant against found footage films, but after 10 years of them beating it into my skull, I'm kind of used to it now. I still don't like it, but I'm used to it, you know.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. If there's one more goddamn found footage horror movie, I'll murder.
No, but I think it can be done well. I think like people are finally getting used to it.
I don't know, man.
I
I don't know.
saw at the film festival I went to earlier this year. I saw this movie called The Midnight Swim, and that's a really good found footage movie. It's not a horror movie, but it's a really good found footage movie.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just a little bit strange that we can rehash the same, general idea over and over and over and over again and say that it's horror, just because like the reason they do the found footage is because it's supposed to make you feel like you're in the movie or
Okay,
whatever.
I get that, but it's not that I hate found footage. I just hate shitty movies, and a lot of found footage movies are shitty. But I think it can be done right. I don't think we're done with found footage. I don't think we'll ever be done with found footage. I just think people need to make better movies with this style.
I think what we need to do is we need to take a step back, take a look at your movie, and decide whether or not it's a good movie, and then decide your style. If it's a good movie and you think you can pull off found footage, do it. But every movie that's being written right now as found footage, they're not putting any effort into it. Like every horror movie that I've seen, anyways, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, like Cloverfield, fucking Blair Witch Project.
Cloverfield.
Fuck Cloverfield. Fuck Blair Witch Project, dude. Fuck like all of the paranormal movies except for the first one. The first one is I kind of fuck with the first Paranormal Activity.
The first one's good.
After that, it's just a shitstorm. They're Paranormal Activity is just pulling a Friday the 13th. They're just bumping out sequels real fast.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, this horror movie.
Now they're not even like sequels. They're movies that have nothing to like the marked ones.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with Paranormal Activity.
It's just found footage and they just threw Paranormal Activity on it.
Yeah, they're just getting like indie filmmakers to make these found footage movies, and they're like, it's pretty spooky. Let's slap Paranormal Activity on there.
The Last Exorcism, The Visit, like it's enough is enough, like I think what we need to do is like, yes, found footage horror movies were popular for a stint with Blair Witch Project, Cloverfield, Paranormal Activity.
Blair Witch Project came out fucking 10 years ago, right? 15, 20?
It came out about 15 years ago, and it was really popular. Then Cloverfield, and then Paranormal Activity. And those movies, even though I don't like the first two, they worked and they were popular. So now that everybody's like, let's just do that, and then our movie's going to be popular. And guess what?
Oh, you know what's an amazing found footage movie? End of Watch.
I've never seen End of Watch, but I'm
not a horror movie.
Even like I don't know, this is a pretty positive example of found footage, but even like the Marble Hornet series on YouTube, it's like it's good, but I wish I was watching a series, like I wish I was watching like an actual movie or something, rather than just more found footage, It's heavy. There's a lot of found footage, but we can harp on the style all day. Let's talk about the actual movie. It's not good.
Like I feel like if M. Night ever wants to make another good movie, I don't think he can rely on the twist anymore.
No, absolutely. And I had people tell me like this is one of the scariest movies you'll see. You'll never see the twist coming. And guess what? I saw the twist coming. They made it pretty. They made it pretty obvious.
The idea to never let the mother see the grandparents when she's on Skype.
Yeah, that kind of ruined. And then all the people that come to the door.
Yeah, people coming to the door, and then the grandmother destroying the cameras and stuff. I don't know. Kind of saw it coming.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. I didn't see it coming for a while, but 15 minutes before the twist, I was like, oh, you know what? I bet I know. But then there's some scenes that it just becomes weird at some point. It stops being scary and it just becomes weird. For instance, the scene where she's wrestling with grandma on the bed. It's not really scary. It's just weird. The scene where they're playing hide and seek. It's not scary. It's just weird.
Yeah,
And then there's the scene that I don't like. There's a scene in this movie that, as much as I didn't like this movie, I may never stop thinking about it. I think you know what scene I'm talking about too. There's a scene where the grandpa decides to open up an adult diaper and shove fecal matter into his grandson's face. And it's not like a subtle shot. No, you see the full log go into his face. Full log.
It's unintentionally one of the funniest movies I've seen all year.
You know what? Actually, might be one of the funniest movies of the year.
Because like we've talked about this before, there's not been any comedies this year.
Yeah.
This is unintentionally fucking hilarious.
But like it's just like that first hour, you know, and like that, like getting through it is really painful because even I understand you need build up, but they didn't do any build up in the first hour. That's the big problem with this movie, is that there's no build up. It's just them doing stuff and then last second just being like, uh-oh, they're mean now, you know?
Yeah. If actually like more shit happened, I could see it being a little more interesting, but
the whole
night, I don't understand why this is getting glowing reviews.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Baffling.
You and I, it's either the critics don't get horror movies or you and I don't get horror movies.
I guess it must be me, because literally everyone else in the world likes It Follows, The Visit, The Babadook, and I don't understand any of it.
I don't get it. I really don't. It's painful.
It Follows. Get the fuck out of here.
And the thing is that like I love horror movies. I love to be scared by movies. I really do. An example of a really good horror movie I saw was Oculus. If you want to see a great horror movie, see Oculus. It's on Netflix. That one will fuck your mind up. That's a good horror movie thought out well.
See, I like two specific genres of horror movies. I like slasher and I like 70s Satan movies.
Yes, like The Exorcist and like
The Exorcist and like just like there's like I have this whole collection right here actually of
what's in
just
it?
It's just like 70s like B movie, like The Devil's Hand is fucking amazing. Just stuff Satan's Slave, Primeval, Terror. They're all just like 70s Satan worshiper films, and they're fucking awesome. I love that kind of stuff.
Satan worshiper. Like I'm not a religious person at all, but for some reason, Satan worshiper films are like Satan, like exorcism films. They really fuck me up. You know, The Exorcist is a prime example of that. That's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. If you want to see a ridiculous horror movie from the 70s, though, you got to check out Deathbed. Have you ever seen Deathbed?
Yeah, Deathbed. I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's unreal. I think Patton Oswalt has a bit about it where he talks about the movie. The full title is Deathbed, the bed that eats people. And it's literally just that. It's unbelievable.
I bought that Patton Oswalt book on my Kindle about how he watched, like how he was addicted to film.
Yeah.
And I really need to read that, I think.
Oh, you haven't checked it out yet?
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I've heard it's a really good book. But The Visit. Let's stay on task here.
Sorry.
Performances weren't good.
Nah.
There was that girl who's in fucking everything as the mom.
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, Catherine Hahn. She's in everything.
She's pretty good usually.
Yeah, she's not bad. She was pretty plain Jane in this one though. Like usually she's doing
it wasn't much of a part really. Like she's good at comedy stuff. Like that Step Brothers is one of my favorite bits of hers, where she's like the Adam Scott's wife, Adam Scott's wife.
Yeah, that's just trying to fuck Will Ferrell.
Yeah, no, that was John C. Reilly, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? Oh, I haven't seen that movie in years. I don't know if I would watch that movie again, but
I think it holds up.
Does it hold up? I don't recall it holding up.
I think it's actually a pretty funny movie still.
I don't recall it holding up. But yeah. Then everybody else is no names. And like here's the thing, okay? And we've mentioned this before, but there's got to be good kid actors. Like, they exist.
Man, if that kid busted out one more rap, I might have killed myself.
Yeah, and, like, here's the thing is that, like, I think, like, 7 minutes of the 90-minute runtime was that kid doing bad raps. And not only that, but then at the end of the movie, he does a rap about getting hit in the face with fecal matter as the credits roll.
I like how M. Night Shyamalan is the king of non-subtlety. Because you know how like he talks about how or like the kids like you never look at yourself in the mirror, and then in that ending scene where he's rapping, it's just her looking at herself in the mirror for 4 minutes while he's rapping, and you're like, hey, Shyamalan, subtlety. You ever
heard of it? Hey, Shyamalan, do you know how to write? Have you ever written before?
I honestly, most of his shit's been fluke.
Yeah. Well, like, here's the thing is that, like, in my opinion, he's done one good movie. I haven't seen Unbreakable. I've heard it's pretty good.
Unbreakable is his best movie.
But Sixth Sense is great. I love The Sixth Sense. And then the rest of it is like...
Well, here's the thing. Like, it's an okay movie that everybody loves. And The Unbreakable is a great movie that no one likes. And then the rest of his shit's garbage. So it's like, what is this even? Is this even a career?
Why? Yeah. Why is this a household name? Why do we know
he was slated as the next Spielberg?
Yeah, absolutely. And what do we get instead? We get fucking After Earth.
Get the fuck out of here with After Earth.
Like what? I feel like he thought with Last Airbender, like that was gonna be it. That was gonna be like
that. Actually, like that could have been a hit because that's one of the greatest animated shows of all time. Completely fucked it up.
Oh, he fucked it up so hard, dude. It's unbelievable. I feel like Shyamalan, he just kind of doesn't know what he's doing right now, and like he's just kind of pretending that he does, because he did the horror thing for a little while with like Sixth Sense and Signs and all that, and then he was sort of The Village as well, and then he was sort of a household name as horror. He took a step back from that, did some sci-fi, and now he's coming back to that, and people are like, "Oh, he's back into horror, man. This is him back in his element, man."
Well, it's the same thing with like The Martian that just came out. I liked it, but everybody's like, "This is a 5-star film. Ridley Scott's back." Is it just because he's done so much shit recently that like anything that's pretty good, you're making out to be like a savior? Like I feel like that's kind of what's going on here with The Visit and Martian, both. Obviously, The Martian is a far superior film to The Visit. But like
we'll talk about that one when I can get the chance to peep it. But I've heard it's pretty damn good.
It's good, but a return to form, you know, that's
it doesn't make up for Exodus, like it doesn't make up for
Exodus and Prometheus. So like you've been scarred in the past, and he makes something sort of good, nowhere near Alien, not even close. People are like, "This is the new Alien." It's like, yeah, but nah, not even close.
You're pretty far off from that, for sure.
But I can't wait to talk about Martian. That should be a good episode.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll have to wait until November to do that. But of course, the first episode in November, we're probably going to be talking about Spectre, so be prepared for that.
Oh, true.
But what we're going to do now, next week, more spoopy movies. It's a whole spoopy month.
Absolutely.
A whole spoopy month. Next week we're gonna watch another motherfucking goddamn, and this was my pick, so I apologize. It's another goddamn found footage movie.
Are you serious? Is this a found footage movie?
I imagine, because it's a Marble Hornets movie. It's called Always Watching. Marble Hornets was found footage. I imagine this is also found footage. It's called Always Watching, a Marble Hornets story. Then we're gonna watch Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. Corey Feldman, my boy Corey Feldman. I want to get invited to one of his parties. Like I want like a free pass to one of his parties now.
If we can get down to LA, I'll pay for both of us to get into one. Just for the podcast from it. How good would that be?
That would be incredible. It would be a short podcast before we got kicked out.
Or sucked off by a bunch of old strippers.
Just like on the pod, just Colby, she's taking my pants. They're at the heels.
All these old strippers are biting at the nip. I don't know what that expression is.
That might have to be a Spooky-Tober episode, because that sounds horrifying.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Old strippers attack. Just like, none of them have teeth. They're all trying to blow you.
Yo, we should write. Here's what we should do. We should write a movie about getting attacked by old strippers at a Corey Feldman sex party.
Oh! That's the best idea ever.
That's gonna be the movie of the year, dude. That's gonna be the movie of the year. That's gonna be next year's Cooties. Speaking of Cooties, that's what we're gonna be watching next week. Our good buddy, our good friend of the show, friend of the pod.
Do you think we could get him on here, Hayden Christensen?
Hayden Christensen? I imagine, yeah. He's got nothing going on right now other than being the executive producer for a movie called Cooties with Rainn Wilson and Elijah Wood. Those are two people I earnestly believe we could get on the pod for sure. Like those are people that don't have
Elijah Wood, 100%, because
absolutely.
He made all of his fuck you money, and now he literally does no good movies, except for Open Windows. Open Windows fucking rules. Everybody.
Well, he got his Lord of the Rings money. Rainn Wilson got his Office money.
Yeah.
And now they just do whatever the fuck. I guess they work with Hayden Christensen.
What's his name? Rainn Wilson. He runs a website called Soul Pancake, and it's just about like life advice. He runs a life advice blog.
That can't be real.
Yeah, check out Soul Pancake. He wrote a book too.
Soul Pancake. He's got a YouTube. He's got a Twitter. Soulpancake.com. We make stuff that matters. We make stuff that matters. I need to look up contact information because I don't believe that Rainn Wilson has anything to do with that. No, except Kevin from The Office is in the promo video. So.
Oh, so he runs Soul Pancake. He owns that.
What? Oh, okay. Hold on. Team. Let's see. I don't believe Rainn Wilson has anything to do with this. So we're gonna go into team. We're gonna see. Oh my God. Oh, in his picture, he looks like shit. Oh, he looks hideous. Oh my God, what happened to him? It looks like he got chewed up and spit out by a hairy vagina. What the fuck? God damn, there's a little animation of him and everything. Oh, Rainn Wilson. Oh, God. I've never seen Rainn Wilson smile, though, so that's new. It's like doing a little bit. He's like making jokes. Remember The Rocker? Remember The Rocker?
Yeah, I have a copy of that.
Oh, God. Bless, but God. No, I mean, no. But you're going to show it to me.
Just trying to remember where I put that. This is it. Right here, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby.
Atrocious. That's an atrocious mess.
Oh, yeah, baby.
He looks even greasier on his website picture. Like, even greasier.
One disc edition. I'm glad I went for that. I'm glad I opted for the...
It's a good addition. That's a good addition. It's a good addition to have.
Emma Stone is in this. Josh Gad.
Hey man, those were people who were not famous at the time but are now.
Yeah. And what's that guy from Californication? Or no. Portlandia. Fred Armisen.
I don't know.
Bradley Cooper.
Oh, B. Coops is in that? What the fuck? You're making that right up. B. Cooper is not in The Rocker.
He sure is.
So is The Rocker basically just like School of Rock, but without a gimmick?
Yeah.
It's like old guy trying to do rock and roll.
Yeah, so he hires like a bunch of kids named Josh Gad and Emma Stone.
Are they all named Josh Gad?
Yeah, they're all Josh Gad.
Oh, dude, this has a pretty good cast, actually. Will Arnett's in it. My boy
Arnett, yeah. That's the other one I was looking at.
Fred Armisen. Jane Krakowski. There's some good names in here, man.
I don't remember it being horrible, but it's not a good movie.
Jeff Garlin. I love Jeff Garlin. But no, I remember it being terrible. I remember we watched it at your house one time, and I do recall it being quite awful.
Yeah, well, you're wrong a lot about a lot of things, Chadley. Yeah. So that's the show. Tune in next week.
We're going to watch more spoopy shit.
For some cooties and some Marble Hornets. I might not watch that movie, actually.
What? No, you have to.
No, I might not. I might just come in here blind and see what you have to say about it.
You're not allowed to do that. That's fake.
Sure I can. Dude.